What did I miss? Now, I've been seeing people, posting about the streaming numbers. I haven't really been paying attention because, like I've said numerous times, numbers are a metric when deciding something. I don't know what that thing is. I guess success. But numbers are the least important metric when deciding quality of something. If you want to see how I actually feel about the song, go check out my reaction to it. But the reason why I felt like this was important to cover was because this is the guy who said, numbers wise, we out of here, you're not creeping up. And I wanted to see when Drake dropped Solo, what was that going to do? So we got fantastic hip hop here. Let's
Now,
go.
before we get into looking at how What Did I Miss already missed, and things are starting to get bad as the rap world is reacting to Drake's latest musical crash out.
I have to say this again. This is not speaking to what I think quality of the song. If you want to see how I think about the song, go check this out. But this is just very interesting to me as somebody who's been covering this whole thing because I've been kind of Drake's numbers, since he was the numbers guy, is kind of a little reflection of something, but I don't know if it means quality or where he's at. But
Well, I need you to do a favor for me and leave a like before we go any further into this, because the Drake fans are very mad at me because I am calling out Drake's biggest swing at a piece of garbage yet. And now with that out of the way, well, now that you have left your like,
I think
can
they're
call
mad
out
at
this
you
piece of
because
garbage for what it
you hate Drake so much. I think they're mad at you. Start every video with a I just be covering the cat. You might really hate this nigga.
really is. Well, now with Drake kicking off the Iceman era with a song that is showing that the only thing that Drake has missed is the reality that the rest of us have seen way too much of. Well, currently now with all the subliminals that Drake put out through the hour-long temper tantrum with the stream he just had and the single he has released, of course, which altogether have tried to make such a big deal that Drake is finally making a—
Oh, by the way, forgot to say before we get too far, first of all, shout out to everybody who's been supporting this. This is one of my most successful lines that I've dropped yet. The official I don't like rappers who don't rap t-shirts are out right now, and it's more important now than ever to push that message. The link is in the pinned comment. You still have 3 days. You have 3 days left to purchase one and get a personal thank you video. So the link is in the pinned comment, or it's tagged in the video. It should be popping up right, where the box of where I react at, where Drake is at, should be popping up there. So let's go.
A comeback, although of course he's made like 6 other
Shout out to
comebacks
everybody
before
who-
this, and they have all failed. And speaking of failing, this does not seem like something Drake is going to ever escape, because with this new record, despite all the annoyance and hype his
I wanna
fans
see
are
what the
trying to
streams
act
were
like
for
it
the
has,
first day. I didn't
well, in
see
terms of its streaming debut and performance, the song has flopped relatively compared to what Kendrick Lamar is doing in this era, because even if we look at Kendrick's featured songs in 2025, well, now as What Did I Miss debuted with 2.81 million streams on the first day.
Okay,
With that, we are seeing that
2.81.
Drake and Kendrick are in 2 completely different leagues, and as long as Drake keeps trying to compete with Dot, he is gonna get humiliated, because for Kendrick Lamar's Playboy Cardi features from I Am Music and Mojo Jojo Backdoor and Good Credit, well, they all pulled in between 5.4 and 6.6 million streams, and with a—
All right, I have to say this now because there's gonna be some people. The OVO stands are gonna be like, "Why are you? Yeah, I thought numbers didn't matter. Why are you comparing it?" Because they're just spiraling and they're gonna spiral. But the reason why this matters here is because like of all the things that have aged badly, there's still things that are aging badly that Drake said. So numbers wise, we out of here. You're not creeping up. Is not even kind of true. Not with your first joint. Not with your first single off of your first solo joint. Now 2.8 million streams in one day. I don't even know if that's good for Drake. I'm assuming that's good. That'd be great for me. You know what I mean? But that'd be great for a lot of people. But is that great for Drake? Somebody who isn't like who really knows Drake's streaming numbers like first day. Is that bad? Or is that like because one thing I'll say is it looks crazy when compared to Kendrick, and you will be compared to Kendrick's numbers because you're the one who set the table. Numbers wise, we're out of here. You're not creeping up. Your whole thing, like y'all can't, like the whole thing, y'all don't get booked out of America for nah. And then Kendrick is out here doing small countries worth of people out of internationally. So yeah, ooh.
us just seeing this, well, you can just clearly see in the numbers that the featured Kendrick songs have more motion than a Drake track with the most dramatic rollout of all time, which no matter how you want to put it, is just not a good look. And make sure that all of hip-hop can see this, and leave a like if you have not already. So Drake—
And if you are an OVO stan who's spiraling right now, you know that this isn't great. You know that this isn't great. I've been said for a while, Kendrick Lamar is the biggest rapper in the world right now, currently. And a lot of people bring things up like, well, Drake's still the most streaming, but a lot of those streaming stuff is not his newest stuff. It's not newest stuff. I want to know how much of his streaming numbers daily are accounted for songs post the battle. That's kind of what I want to know. I think Nokia is going to be one of them, but post the battle, Kendrick is bigger. Like, let's keep it real. He is. Like, he just is accolades and now streaming wise. Like, he just is mathematically. But like I said, the numbers ain't the most important to me. It's the most important to the other niggas. But he beating you there too.
So fans can't stop everyone from seeing how this track is really good and see how Kendrick is still on top with ease. And now when it comes to the reaction this song is getting in addition to the poor numbers, well, now with this latest attempt at Drake trying to trick...
And like I said, I don't know if I'll call them poor numbers before I know what Drake does usually in a day. But if we're just comparing it to the person that he just acted like with some underground rapper that nobody listens to, that looks crazy. Because people were, with the Party Next Door stuff, people were like, no, the reason why that didn't do the same numbers as he usually does with his collabs is because Party Next Door, which doesn't make sense if you stop and think of, because that would mean that that's the end of the Drake stimmy. Because that would now mean the person on the song, the other person on the song determines the streams more than Drake does now. That's bad. So...
trick us into thinking he is back, as he has now sent out the most direct disses he has in this pathetic run towards people he feels betrayed by, like LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan, and Future. Well, with all these names and others, we are starting to see reactions to these Drake disses, and now when it comes to how LeBron has seemingly reacted to another 40-year-old man who has a tattoo of him dissing him on his comeback single over and over again,
I don't know why you threw 40. The age don't matter. This ageism thing is getting crazy, bro. Like... I've noticed too, we always round up. Why do we? Drake is not 40, nigga. He's close, but he's not 40. Like, why is he 40? Because 40 sounds worse than the age he actually is. Like, anytime a nigga is doing that, it's like, come on, just say the age, bro. Like,
for liking and supporting another artist.
Oh, by the way, I could be 50 years old, nigga. You betrayed me, it's Uppington, nigga. What do you mean, nigga? That ain't
he has also been friends with, because let's remember real
quick.
But also...
think that he's acting like I said this whole time. I get his emotional anger towards LeBron. The way he's doing this is pure goofiness. It's just pure goofiness. It's just...
Drake has been a stan of LeBron, and he has looked up to him so much in really a way that is just very weird for a man of his age to be friends with another man of his age on. LeBron has also been very good friends with Kendrick Lamar, all the way to the point that LeBron has been name dropped on Kendrick Lamar albums, and LeBron is literally the reason why Kendrick Lamar put out an entire record like Untitled Unmastered in the first place. Just remember that. And so now with all of this and Drake dissing LeBron once again, LeBron is finally reacting.
This whole acting like LeBron just became friends with Kendrick is a weird narrative.
And with what he just did, LeBron's response can pretty much be summed up by this now iconic meme that you can see right here. And to be honest, I gotta give it to LeBron here, because it almost seems like he is trolling Drake and now saying that you can see right reacted. And with what he just did, LeBron's response can pretty much be summed up by this now iconic meme that you can see right here. And to be honest, I gotta give it to LeBron here, because it almost seems like he is trolling Drake and now saying that in the midst of a time where he is trying to figure out what he is doing in his career and if he is gonna stay with the Lakers and just handle bigger and actual important things, well, clearly he does not have time to respond to Drake's diary notes about how he went to the pop out and enjoyed somebody else's music who he's also been friends with. And well, as a result of this, LeBron has just ended.
That's where I go, I can dip into the pettiest side of my psyche and go, I get it, because we were supposed to be friends and this person's dissing me. You're not supposed to be over here enjoying the music. It kind of splits up more when LeBron was also friends with Kendrick the whole time. And maybe you felt like you were closer friends and y'all did stuff and he owed you more loyalty, which I don't know what y'all did off the camera. I don't know why you would think that. Maybe there's justified reasons. I would just say, this whole fake friends thing that you've been preaching, you need to start believing it. You know what I mean? Maybe LeBron just was not, maybe your relationship was not what you thought it was. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron, at the end of the day, as a Laker, as like the face of the Lakers right now, is going to support Kendrick Lamar, the biggest artist in Los Angeles. Like, what, nigga? Like, what?
Ended this thing quick on his end by trolling Drake and playing his own game, because just by going on Drake's favorite way to be petty in none other than social media, Well, LeBron has finally responded to the countless disses that Drake has sent just by liking a single post and making sure that everybody sees how he feels about another person's response to the same musical meltdown that we have just seen from the Iceman. And now with this, who LeBron interacted with and sent this message through? Well, was a post which was showing off what Future said right after this song dropped in the first place from Drake, which read, "I'm always choose being real over anything." And now with Future saying this also, well, first off, based on the timing of Future putting this out and what Drake was saying about how people were
that's weird. I haven't heard anybody. This is why I like Fantastic Hip Hop. I haven't heard anybody speak on that. I didn't know Future said that.
With him and stayed in the middle of all of these issues and didn't take his side. Well, now on Future's end, one of the guys who Drake seemed to be the most upset about losing on his side in the rap game, that no matter what Drake is saying and what narratives he wants to twist, well, after all that has went down and Drake almost making this song a cry to Future just as much as it's a cry to LeBron, well, really now Future is standing within his choices that he has made and is letting everybody know that Drake is not real and not a good friend after all. And that is why he's still standing within this ground that he put himself in with Metro Boomin when they dropped We Don't Trust You all of this time later. And now really for both Future, but
I don't know how Future and Drake's relationship, because I wouldn't be surprised if you see Drake. I always said the two people who I could see mending between this is going to be Future and Drake. So if I see Future and Drake doing music together, I can see that. I don't know what their issues are. So I don't know how it could end, but I will say it looks like Drake, it's up to Drake to press the line. Future can already be like, I already got my bars on and I already cracked this whole thing off, got my lick back. So if you want to come back on some kumbaya, it's whatever, nigga. Like, cause it's like a nigga punched you in the face, and now it's your obligation to punch him back. If you don't, he don't gotta punch you again. He already punched you. So that's what it looks like to me. And with that tweet, I don't know if he's speaking to Drake's song or stuff like that, but like, you gotta understand something. When it comes to artists, especially signed artists with teams, most things are done strategically. Most things are done for a reason. So if something seems a way, it most likely is.
But also more LeBron here, who Drake seems to be the most offended and upset by than anybody else. Well, really, with what LeBron has done is somehow for a seasoned NBA player who, again, in terms of rap and all this beef, should really not even be held accountable for enjoying artists and going to shows, because he is not a player within this, but instead is just a spectator and a fan. Well, now for this spectator who is busy probably with his family and focusing on getting ready for a record-setting 23rd season.
I will say, you cannot be a spectator or something like this. You choose a side when you go to the show. I just think Drake isn't thinking that this is an ambassador of California at this moment. So it's like he's going to the Kendrick show. Even if it's some politics shit, he's going to that show, bro. You know what I mean? The literal politician from Canada went to Kendrick's Canada show. So you don't think this nigga gonna go to the LA show? Like, and I get it though. Like, no, you can't just say I'm just enjoying music, nigga. This is a campaign to destroy me mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Yeah, nigga, this is taking me down, or he believes it's to take him down financially. If Drake believes that, then he believes anybody who pops out at the pop out is a super op. So I see that.
The NBA. Well, I think the last thing LeBron cares about is Drake's embarrassing meltdown, and at this point, he is probably so tired of it. But of course, as Drake is the most immature person you really could have ever met, and he is not stopping talking about LeBron even after over a year. Well, LeBron has really cracked the code and ended up cracking Drake, as against this clout-chasing loser who is melting more and more as we speak. Well, LeBron has really figured out how to annoy Drake and make him go mad like only few other people can do better than. Because really, what LeBron ended up doing here was matching Drake's own antics and getting petty just like the way he is, and not actually using words.
Boy, Fantastic Hip Hop will set up a bar, won't he? Say what he said, nigga.
To respond, but just make these cryptic moves and then go on with your day and go back to hanging out with your family or asking Rob Pelinka to actually make moves for the Lakers. And now, of course, as LeBron is just responding to this ridiculous and over-the-top moment that Drake made by double-tapping a screen on social media. Oh, well, you tell me about the 40-year-old who was having a temper tantrum.
Okay, so LeBron liking that Future post actually makes it even more that I think Future was definitely speaking. The facts that niggas are speaking about this, but Fantastic Hip Hop, salute to you. The fact people are catching that Future tweet or the whatever that is that real?
This is gonna make him more upset than anything else, because it really does make this immature loser in Drake, who is more concerned about getting attention and reactions for people over literally every other thing else, just look like a literal afterthought, which he is. And now for LeBron icing out the Iceman, I do think it's a very telling moment of a lot of things, because even with this entire moment that we are seeing in general, not just with LeBron and Drake, but with Drake and the entirety of the music world and just everybody, well, just like a lot of other people, LeBron is probably not shocked by any of this now, or even cares in any meaningful way at this point, because through song after song and moment after moment that Drake has already dropped, like the literal freestyle that is named after LeBron's high school team, again, when Drake talks about what did I miss, he must have missed his own song, because we all already heard a LeBron.
Okay. If y'all want to watch the rest of it, I'm sure you're just gonna go on a Drake rant. But I wanted to see. I got the point that I wanted to see the numbers that it was doing and LeBron's response. Yeah, man, it's looking weird. It's looking weird because I want to know what the excuse is for the numbers that he got because Party Next Door is not on it. And I ain't gonna lie, the fact that y'all conceded that Drake's numbers determine more on Party Next Door than Drake is crazy. It's already a weird conceit. So like, but now what? Because his song with Two Mazza flopped too. And niggas gonna be like, well, it's Two Mazza. There was an era where Drake can jump on a song with your local ice cream man and it would have went platinum. So now we've gotten to the part where Two Mazza's clout means more to a song than Drake's. Damn.